You're now listening to the Chewing Ground.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 52. We're almost done with the whole year. It's almost 56 episodes. That's insane. Been doing this like every week. So the fact that it's almost been a year and I haven't been canceled yet is amazing. We got Joe here. Joe, not Rogan, but even better. This guy over here has so many businesses. You're an entrepreneur. You have three, well, going on to three. Yeah. I'm guessing the game plan is, what's your end game? How many are you going to get?
In Wilmington, like 4.
Okay, where else?
I mean, I don't know. Nashville's pretty chill, right?
Oh, you like Nashville, don't you? You were telling me about that earlier.
Like I like East Nashville, right? That Texas. I don't know.
Texas, really?
I mean, Dallas is cool. I got a couple friends in Dallas.
I went to Houston. Not gonna lie, it's alright.
I mean, like concrete jungle, right?
Yeah, it's just flat, and then everything's like a highway.
Yeah.
You just gotta go on the highway for everything.
But then Austin's awesome too. I was just down there.
I did hear about that.
Friends got an amazing place down there called the Roosevelt Room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. They kill it down there. So the food and beverage game down there is just outstanding. Lot of fun.
How do you pronounce your last name, first of all?
It's Apkarian.
Apkarian. I almost said that wrong. All right, so we got Joe Apkarian here. Okay, questions. All right, so you own, right now, in Wilmington, you own Taco Baby, where we were just at. It was amazing. It's so beautiful. And then you own Poorhouse, soon to be Eagles Dare.
Yep.
Hopefully, this month? Next month?
I don't know.
Next year?
Yeah. We'll see.
Come on, Wilmington.
Yeah, New Hanover County. Looking at you. It'd be great to be at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Probably first part of August, you know?
I gotta give you compliments. Right before this, we went to Taco Baby. Taco Baby is the only place in Wilmington, I would say, that gives me a Miami, Los Angeles vibe. Because, I've traveled. We talked a little bit about travel just a second ago. I love traveling, and you know how, like, different big cities, they have a vibe. Like New York, they got, you go rooftop bars and stuff like that. And you go to Miami, and it's like a party, young vibe. I went to Taco Baby. First thing we looked at each other, like, yo, neon lights kind of vibe. I love that, the young atmosphere. Well, how did you come up with that concept?
Right, so Taco Baby was already in existence. It was started up, and then the person that was running it put it on the market.
So someone had already owned it.
Someone had already owned and had a place in existence called Taco Baby. I was at the time working for Homeland and FEMA doing virus response stuff.
Okay.
And I'm living in a hotel room, traveling the country, doing virus response during the pandemic. My bar shut down, and I'm like, man, I need to not be so one-dimensional.
Yeah.
So I start looking, and I end up buying into this Taco Baby with a partner, and I then rebrand it and make it into a bit of a...
So it looked different.
Oh, yeah. So we did a full redesign and reimagination of Taco Baby.
You adopted that baby.
Adopted that baby, made it my own,
Dude, so how much money did you have to put? Like, you don't have to give me numbers, but like, how big of was the investment to like rebrand?
I mean, you're looking in like the tens of thousands, right?
Jesus.
So I mean, the neon sign, the artwork,
so much art.
Using contacting, some of the artists in town, Tragic Girls from Instagram, like an amazing artist.
Yeah.
And she did a piece for us, and then the designer that I worked with in town, just it all adds up, right? You gotta spend money to make money.
Yeah, I'm just curious because like you're telling me you bought this place, you renovated it. I can't even imagine it looking like anything else. What did it look like before?
It looked, where the neon sign was. There was like kind of a painting of it said Taco Baby. It looked like a neon sign.
Was it young looking, like young vibe, or no?
It was young looking ish. Like there was just more to do. That's all. I mean, they had a thing they were doing. Like respect and props to my partner that started it. And then I just kind of came in with some fresh blood and a little cash injection,
right.
And kind of took it another step further. So I would say it was doing fine. It was there. I was operating,
right.
And then I just kind of came in, and then over the past year, and then this past March, I bought him out fully.
Wow.
And now so it's fully under my control.
So before Taco Baby, hey baby, he's looking at you. Your dog is so cute. So before Taco Baby, you had Poorhouse for what, like 13 years, right?
I've had it so it's been in existence since 2009. I've had it since 2013.
Okay, 2013. Oh wow,
So it's coming up on a decade.
I was in college, so you owned it while I was in college.
I moved here from Dubai.
Dubai?
I moved here from Abu Dhabi. In 2009.
No fucking way.
Is when I moved here, and then so like that's where.
How long did you live there?
I lived there for 2 years.
Military stuff?
I was working for the State Department.
Ah, nice. And you were a Marine.
Correct.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's why you're so fucking yoked.
Try-
You look like you ate me.
Lots of yoga, you know. Lots of yoga and tacos.
Yeah, I see that. Also, what's up with the taco scene in Wilmington? There's like 4 spots. You guys are obviously the best now.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's like West Side Story, right? No,
No, seriously, like I'm thinking right now. Okay, I went to college here, Islands, which is like
Around the corner.
$1,
right?
kind of crappy. Like it's fine if you're cheap, you know.
What you want is what you want. What you need when you need it. You got Beer Barrio, who's run by some.
Oh, there is Beer Barrio.
Beer Barrio's
I forgot about that one.
great spot, run by some great people. Got some good food.
Only been there once.
You got Block Taco at Satellite.
Don't know that one.
Satellite, so like Satellite Bar. Connected with it is Block Taco.
That's downtown as well, right?
That's like the South Front area, so
okay,
the
okay.
South Front district. Got some amazing tacos there, and then you've got like the classics like Los Portales, right? Like that's if someone asked me like where to go get traditional
Yeah, that was
tacos,
pretty
I'm like, yeah, what Taco Baby?
Y'all have
What?
taco trucks here yet?
Oh, for sure. I mean the taco.
Okay, because I never really had one.
There's some great ethnic food trucks that are coming around here. Like there's a
They
Puerto
need that,
Rican,
bro.
Wilmingtons.
It's so white here. They need that. You know it.
I didn't say
You
that.
lived here.
I didn't say that.
I'm allowed to say
Uh,
that. When I went to school here, dude, I swear I feel like I was like one of maybe like 10 Asian guys.
when I moved here, coming from the Middle East, right, and being around that kind of food culture,
Yeah.
or like even I went to college in Wisconsin, man. There was an
gosh.
Afghan restaurant in like down on State Street in Madison. Like I was eating Afghan food before I found myself in Afghanistan. So like I love good ethnic food.
Yeah.
My stepmom's a Spanish teacher.
Oh,
So
wow.
like I've been around Latin culture and
Yeah.
food since I was a kid. So I mean I would like to think I'm a white
Gringo.
just
Gringo.
gringuito. But I mean like I've been around it and I respect it and I really really love it.
So let me get the timeline straight. So you were birthed, of course, and then where'd you grow up? Where I'm born.
I was born in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then I grew up in West Michigan or all over Michigan.
Okay, so Midwest.
Midwest through and through.
Opinions on Skyline.
Yeah. Like
Trash.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Like Ohio is beneath me.
I've been there. I haven't been to Michigan yet.
Physically, like geographically.
Yeah, a lot of people will say that.
There's a lot of people from Ohio in this town who I'm dear friends with.
Really?
And love to talk shit
Never
about.
met Ohio people.
Oh
here.
my god.
I think Ohio people where we're from.
It's
but not
like
here.
it's like the water bugs in this town. They're just everywhere.
dude. Ohio, well, because everyone wants to get out of there.
Yeah, have you been to Ohio?
Yeah, I have twice.
Yeah, dude. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
internship there.
So grew up in Michigan
Right.
and then went to the University of Wisconsin
Okay.
at Madison.
Where does your sister live, Zorn?
She lives right outside of
Wisconsin, right?
yeah, Newburgh.
Okay.
Oh, New Bern? Yeah. So I mean, like, love Wisconsin, right? Went to Madison.
West Berlin, I'm
like,
Newburgh
bro-
is here.
Yeah, New Bern. Yeah.
West Berlin.
Yeah, West Berlin.
Okay.
Madison. It's like kind of like what Atlanta, where
Oh.
or not Atlanta, but like Georgia with Athens, right? With University of Georgia, or like because like
college town.
you get out of Athens and you're like, oh, I'm in
There's nothing
Georgia.
here.
Or like you're in Madison, you get like go for a bike ride, right? Like if you're training for a try or something like that, you get out of Madison and it's like you get run off the road by a tractor. It's like get off the road, just like
Whoa.
oh, like love it, but also sometimes you're like oh okay, got it,
Yeah.
country.
Right.
But no, I had an amazing time there, and then ended up joining the ROTC and getting commissioned in the Marine Corps.
Where was the first place you were stationed at?
Yeah, so like if you're a Marine officer, you go to Quantico, Virginia, to go to a place called the Basic School to learn how to be like an infantry.
It's only there,
all Marine officers.
but there's a West Coast one, no?
Well, so every Marine officer
What?
goes to Quantico, Virginia to learn how to be an infantryman.
What?
Really. And then if it's like cool, you're gonna go be a pilot. All right, go to flight school.
Yeah.
You're gonna go actually be an infantry guy. You go to infantry school.
Wow.
And then you go to your job specialty, and then you get sent out. So
Okay.
I was in Okinawa, Japan. I was originally
Yep. I had a friend who was also in the Marines. Also had to go there.
I was originally an engineer officer.
Wow.
So I did engineer, spent time floating on ships, Iraq. I then
Wow.
went to go work for the embassy
Yeah.
security program. So embassy duty. That's why I found myself in the Middle East.
Were you ever close to danger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a combat action ribbon too.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like,
Do you want to talk?
yeah.
you
No,
wanna
I mean,
talk about
no. It's yeah. It's chill, man. Like, I mean,
Because that stuff to me is so fascinating because, like, you know, my whole life, I grew up as a Asian American, technically a first gen, even though I wasn't born here. My parents, as Asian Americans, and a lot of my fans can attest to this, my parents were like, no, you're not going to the military. Like, that's not even an option. It's either college, you're going to be a doctor or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Of course. And then, you know, the concept of, that's why when I have an Asian friend who does go to the military, everyone's like, oh, you really defied the rules here because your parents don't want you to get hurt. And like, my parents are just so like coddly, like, no, we're gonna keep you here and stuff. And so whenever I hear stories of my friends, Tyler Cinco, some of my other friends who are in the military, and they were telling me about like the stuff that you have to encounter. Sometimes you don't encounter anything, it's chill, you do your own thing, but then there is a few times where you have to encounter something. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Because you only see that shit in movies, for me.
yeah. So my first time in Iraq was the advent of like the roadside bomb, right?
Oh my gosh, so you
And
were there
so-
like during the
so
era, bro. Fuck.
We don't need to age myself that much.
You look so young though.
It's because I'm moisturized, you know.
I don't see any white hairs
No,
on that
no, yeah, no, it's-
mustache
yeah,
there.
It's dye. But no, so like I was with a unit tasked with going out and like literally the job was to go find roadside bombs.
Wow.
And it was like,
That's
what was
so
that movie
dangerous.
like Chris Elliott with
Hurt Locker?
No. Cabin Boy.
Oh.
Where he's like go up there and see if you find any icebergs, and it's like, okay, you hit one. Like that was literally, I was like, hey, take these specialized vehicles and go see if you can find some bombs. And we're like, all right, found one. So that was my first. That was
What kind of like how big were these vehicles you guys?
So it was the first MRAPs. So like the first big guys.
Yeah.
And then also like the vehicle that had the buffalo with the claw to go interrogate the side of the road, which like they were getting ready to film the first Transformers.
Oh my god.
And so like they're like, oh, it's a Decepticon. Fuck yeah. Yeah, right. And like the next week we got our buffalo got blown up and the claw just like.
Oh no.
Yeah, it got better. So we had some fun times getting blown up in West Iraq with some great guys and girls. And then got done with that and then went to do embassy duty. So I was based out of Abu Dhabi, the embassy there. Yeah. And then traveling all over. So from Pakistan to
So Abu Dhabi. When you mentioned Dubai, is that like next?
Abu Dhabi is just to the south of it.
Okay.
So like when it's kind of like telling people
I don't
like
know Abu Dhabi.
well, it's like telling people like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Detroit. And anyone from Detroit's like, where in Detroit?
Yeah,
like,
okay,
and they're
I
like,
see.
oh, Milford. You're like, you're not from Detroit.
Yeah, outside.
It's the same. You know.
Did you ever go in Dubai?
Oh, for sure, dude. Like
How
it
fucking
was
wild
like
is
it was
it?
like an hour and a half.
How wild is it? Because I hear all these stories. Never been there. It's on the list.
It is very opulent. Like there's food, there's things to do. But like you guys as people that I've known for 2 hours that strike me as educated, like compassionate human beings will take you all of a half a day to then see and be like, oh, that's human trafficking. Oh, those guys are like basically like slave. That's slave labor. So like, yeah, we can go scuba diving and go ski a mountain in a desert, or like go skiing. But like you see the way that some of the Pakistani, the Bangladeshi, Sri Lankan, and some of the third country nationals, or like the Filipino maids and stuff like that, the way in which they're treated. If you have any human regard for dignity and respect, you're like, oh, that's bullshit.
That makes it so fascinating because during COVID and post COVID, there's been a wave. Not right now, it's kind of died out, but there was a wave of like influencers getting invited to Dubai. They pay you and all this. So you're just seeing Dubai as like great, it's amazing,
Cool.
and then you hear
look at
this,
that.
and
Yeah,
then it's
like
like shit.
Dude, the clubs are wild. Like you see people and you're like, oh, like girls in their complete burqa will then go into the hotel where all the bars are. So all the bars and clubs are in hotels. Laws and can't drink outside, but can in the hotels. But like they'd show up and then take their and they're wearing like the top level like oh, that's Armani, that's
shit,
just
yeah,
like absolute amazing outfit. Like, oh my god, don't get me wrong, it's fucking awesome. But then also you're like, oh, yep, got it. So,
isn't that how it works in the world? Almost like wherever there's the richest, there's also the poorest.
For sure.
It feels like
there's like if you fly in, you can see the camps like that.
Shit.
They literally take their passports and they're promised like all these things, and then they basically get treated like complete slave labor.
Shit, bro.
So like go look at you do any kind of research on the World Cup in Qatar.
I was just about to ask you, is that how it is like
Hell
there?
yes.
Fuck, man.
Building
'Cause
all that.
Right
all
now
that
they're
shit.
building all the hotels
Yeah.
and I'm like, imagine how many people are underpaid.
dying,
Yeah.
and they're just like whatever. Like the amount of like people that get found in like 55-gallon drums in the desert, like
Jesus.
Oh man, we're going down a rabbit hole, bro.
Fuck it, who cares? It's a
Yeah,
podcast.
like I mean, guys will go to Western schools, universities, and be like, "Oh, girl, I'm a baller back in whatever country. I don't want to just
you're
say
done.
I don't want to just say
You're
UAE." But I'm going to marry that white girl with the blue eyes, right? Take her home, take that passport, and be like, "You're mine, your property. You'll do what I say." And like there are Western, I would say, people like women and men that are then like stuck and they can't get out. And there are some of our governments, our embassies that work to help people that are like, I'm being held against my will because I married a guy I married a guy from Stanford that I thought was a sweetheart, and then we get back into around a certain culture that maybe doesn't respect people the way that we do.
The women's rights there is just crazy.
Yeah,
Speaking of, speaking of women's rights, I love this thing that you're doing with Taco Baby.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have a shot? You have a shot there called the Plan B shot, where you get if you donate it to Plan B, you get the shot for free, and also it's if I'm not mistaken, it's the bartender's choice.
Yeah.
She made us the candy one.
Yeah, Mexican candy shot.
Oh, that shit was delicious.
Yeah.
It's also even if you didn't donate, it's like $4. It's fine. And then on top of that, you also have a proceeds of the frosé.
Yeah. So our frosé.
Also immaculate. I had a frosé in New York that tasted like shit. This was way better. Like the other one would tasted like piss. But yeah, this. Continue.
Well, no, thanks. We really happy with it, and we're paired up with the Rape Crisis Center of
That's right.
Coastal Horizons, which is a local facility.
That's right.
And we've done an event with them. We kind of take some money, try to every quarter. We look at the sales, take a portion of that, and donate it. And especially current climate, right? So I mean, like just the other day, kind of thinking in terms of my staff at Poorhouse, Taco Baby, and the Dare, kind of what to do with Roe v. Wade.
Oh, dude, that shit! Like, especially with a place like Taco Baby, what you guys are emphasizing.
Well,
feminism.
our picture that we had made from a local girl that says "Keep your laws off my taco," like it obviously started getting shared, and then some people were like, "Oh, I guess I know where I'm not gonna go." And you're like, "Cool, don't want your money."
Yeah, I don't want you.
Like, also, by the way, we just so you know, we donate to the Rape Crisis Center, and we have a shot called the Plan B shot, which kills everything inside you.
I love that.
Right, like sometimes I gotta watch it. That joke's not gonna go.
Well,
over.
also you're real. Honestly, you have to have some form of bravery to not only open a place like that in the South, but in Wilmington, because Wilmington is a predominantly right-wing city.
Man, like living in North Carolina, like I just know Wilmington, right?
Yeah.
And I've traveled a little bit, but I think I want to believe
50-50.
I want to believe in the betterment of people. Like we're getting better, right, guys?
I
And then
hope so.
someone says something, and you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. You got to go to the rural sides of North Carolina.
Right.
You're like, fuck. Out to Burlington, out in that area.
But no, like yes, doing a place that's kind of like feminist themes with supporting Rape Crisis Center, supporting Planned Parenthood. But we've had people come in and be like, "Oh man, like sorry, I'm using a certain accent."
That's fine.
But it's like,
You're white.
"Oh man, like what is this, man? Like what is up with this women stuff?" And like my staff, my
that
staff,
are women, some of them.
right? Well, my staff would be like, "Oh, the retired Marine Raider, the Special Forces guy, that one, yeah, that's his. This is his place." I'm like, "Hi, like."
Yeah, you're really defeating stereotypes.
Well, it's like, say something, please say something.
Right. You got this tanky dude that's like helping feminism. Just walking. I love that, dude. Like a poster child.
The joys of burn your bra, feminist mother.
Yeah.
And going to Madison, right? I think my first state representative was Tammy Baldwin, right?
Oh wow.
Like a proud gay woman representative from the state of Wisconsin. So I mean, from not necessarily knowing her, but like knowing of her, and then like just other women, and whatever their sexual orientation is, but like just being around strong women and wanting to respect that and
Right.
support, and also like Taco Baby, like that just screams like, well, this should be a fun a fun taco place with maybe some feminist themes.
How'd you come up with the concept of the Plan B and the donation?
So one, I've done stuff with some of the other events and things that we've done with Coastal Horizons.
Right.
We've done an event with Rape Crisis Center before when we did a bartender's ball years past, and I was like, if I'm gonna do a place that has some of these themes, I want to support, and that's where we went. And then like I'm always, when I was at Poorhouse, really trying to push the envelope in certain drinks or shots and names of things, and so the Plan B shot, I think I saw that somewhere, and it was not necessarily a donation or anything like that, but it was like, oh, it's a Plan B shot, and I think it was like warm tequila. And I was like, why? It's like, because it's going to kill everything inside you. And you're like, oh, I get it. Wow, that's aggressive. So kind of like, okay, we're going to donate it. So it kind of like, oh, it's okay because we're donating. So I mean, that's kind of where that comes from.
I love that, dude.
One of my favorite shots or drinks is in Iceland, in Reykjavik, is a place called Pricket. And they have a John McClane from Die Hard, right? So Bruce Willis from Die Hard. It's a chocolate like whiskey milkshake with Tylenol.
What?
Yeah, with Tylenol and a loose cigarette.
Is that legal?
It's Iceland. They're Vikings. But it's a hard milkshake with Tylenol and a cigarette. And I'm like, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. So I wanted to do what's her name from Sex and the City? Kim Cattrall.
I barely know it.
It's her character.
Yeah.
I wanted to have like a slushy with a cigarette and Tylenol, and call it that. And my manager, because she's like a smart woman, was like, yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get licensed to sell tobacco.
Something, right? Like like, what are you doing? You can't do that.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy, man. That's so many fun things when you travel and you try some of like the other cultures and stuff. Speaking of travel, what's your favorite spot you've been to? You say you travel a lot.
Man, like what a hard one, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was recently I went with some family to Armenia.
Yeah. All right. Like if I gave you this just a statement, what few places come to mind? Okay, when you're there, you feel like you're on another planet.
Oh, Iceland for sure.
Iceland. I've been there, but only in the airport.
Iceland is nuts. I mean, some of the places that most people haven't, like Afghanistan, is truly an amazingly beautiful place.
Really?
It's
Would not
Iraq
think that.
or just the Middle East has some of the most amazing sunsets and sunrises
Oh yeah,
you'll
actually,
ever see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's beauty, and there's people that are just so warm and welcoming. And like Pakistan has like some of the lushest greenery and hills.
Wow.
I did a hill hike, getting ready to try out for Marsak in Islam. Like my hill workout was in Islamabad with the detachment there in Islamabad from the embassy. So I mean, like, I can say all those places, they're rad. I'm going to Morocco in October.
Fun.
I'm doing
Their food is good.
Oh, for sure.
Moroccan food,
I'm doing the adventure race.
Really?
The monkey race, like with the little baby motorcycles.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so we're gonna ride over the Moroccan desert.
That's so sick, dude.
And some motorcycles.
I keep telling him, and I'm gonna take him this year because he hasn't been out of the country, right? Have you been out of the country? Yeah, so I'm gonna take him on his first ride out since he's been born. But Mykonos, Greece was the one for me where I was like, whoa.
So
this is new to me.
You'll probably meet her tonight. I have a couple friends that were like, we're going to Mykonos, right? And I was like, when? And I was like, we went in like November. And I was like,
when it's dead.
I was like, this is off season, right?
Yeah, it's off season. They end in October.
Freezing.
Yeah.
And like it's gonna be shut down. We're going. I'm like,
it's cheap.
Okay. We went and we got to stay in one of the Airbnbs that's like in the bay.
Yeah, I did that.
Right. So that like during season I don't even think we could have stayed in the closet. But like it's off season. We're like, yeah. So we stayed at like one of the premier spots.
Wow.
And there was like two places open.
Yeah, they have like only local spots.
The local spots and the people that are on the island.
Yeah.
It was fun. I had friends that were working at the Greece or at the Athens embassy. So
really?
when we stayed, hooked up with them Flew to Mykonos. It was like, okay, it's cold. Had a blast.
It's pretty, but
don't get me wrong,
yeah.
it was a blast. But I was like, yeah, but like in the summer, it's
yeah.
great.
We're going in September, so it's like just cheap enough, but still open.
Yeah,
at least.
But that's like Wilmington, right? Like once the
Yes.
tourist season is over, that's when it's fun to go to Wrightsville Beach.
Still
Like, 'cause
people, not too much.
Still not too much. Still people are good. Like you can go to Jimmy's. What's up, Jimmy?
Jimmy's.
You can go to Jimmy's and get a drink
Throwback.
and not like just battle your way to the bar, right?
Jimmy's is where you want to go if you don't know. Jimmy's, okay, you're at the beach bars, which I hate the beach bars now, but because I have too many bad stories. But I go to the beach bars, you get fucked up at the college little scenes, and then when you're done and you want to just have a chill night, or if you just want to have a chill night in general, you go to Jimmy's, not too expensive, you hang out with your boys, really chill vibe.
Dude, like what Jimmy's got going on out there right now?
Yeah, he's been in the game forever.
Dude, Jimmy and Keaton are awesome people.
Yeah.
Their crew out there is awesome. Like we've done a bus from down here and go to Jimmy's.
Fuck yeah.
So like, cause like,
Buses, man, that's a big thing here too. I forgot about that.
Well, I mean, like Jimmy's crew like showed up at Poorhouse like 2 times in a row, and I was like, all right, unacceptable. Like we're going to the beach.
Yeah.
So like we got a bus, Taco Baby, Poorhouse. We all piled in and went up there. Like they get, you know, you're getting older when you're like you see the pictures or you see like you're like, yep, nope, not doing that. They're killing it and they're having a blast. So like it looks awesome. Like Jared Sales and what he's got going on.
It's good that you guys have an environment where you guys aren't competitive. Or like it is, but it's not like friendly competition.
With what we're going on, downtown's not like there's a big enough pie. Like if there's people that are being competitive for like you're stealing from me, grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Also, you guys, Wilmington has grown so much from when I first ever visited to when I went in college and then even now. The traffic has gone like slowly.
Yeah, but you've traveled like
that's true.
So
that's
people
true.
like they're like, oh, the traffic in Wilmington is insane. I'm like,
oh no, it's worse. Wait.
Have you been to Chicago?
But when you're in comparing from like back then,
like
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
yeah,
sure. Like college in Olander, like you might not want to be there. At 5
oh my
o'clock,
God,
right?
Olander.
You might be there for a couple minutes.
right off of that street.
But for the most part, man, it's like it's not. This is still a lot of people moved here like during the pandemic, and with the age of the remote work, right? So like you now don't have to be in the city, right? And you can take that $3,000 a month, rent you're paying and have like a giant ass place here in Wilmington, which is also why there's now a housing issue down here.
Really?
Dude,
yeah,
for
it makes
sure.
sense. There's
or some of these apartments that are being built. And it's like, cool, who do you want to live in here? Because, like, no one local's affording that.
Yeah,
like,
no, fuck no.
Or you see some of the, like, I get my Zillow listing. I'm 40, right? I get the Zillow listing, and you're like, cool, 800 square feet, $500,000. Who the, and you can still hear gunshots? Like, I know that address. Like, are you insane?
Yeah,
but
so
you know what?
expensive.
People are buying it. So it's like, the can't fault the real estate agents or the people doing it, because, like, people are doing it. So...
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I know my friends that are looking for spots like can't get into or afford. They're priced out. So I mean, there's just the place is growing, so there's growing pains. I mean, look at the construction that's down at Taco Baby, right? At the end of our street. You can't drive down our street.
I wonder how much rent is nowadays. If you're in Midtown.
If you're in Midtown, I don't.
Because back then I used to pay, and this was like still good to me. I was like $550, $600 for a house you split between 3 people.
A person?
600.
600 person. Like, dude, I mean, I know people that
But it was a shitty house, like a college party house.
Dude, I mean, like, we're talking like 15,
Yeah,
18, 1900, like,
yeah.
If you want to have a place.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's pretty significant.
I noticed, well, he noticed first, Zoran was like, he's definitely a baller. And I was like, I believe it. And he was like, you see his teeth? And I was like, what? What do you mean? He's got those diamonds in them. I was like, dude, when'd you get those done?
So
he wants something similar, or like, or you get grills though, right? I thought you said that you wanted to get grills.
So this is
Maybe in the past.
Oh, okay.
no,
He used to want
that wasn't
this.
me. That wasn't me, Mom. If you're listening, that wasn't me. My friend Julie Lopez, Browse by Julie, Hot Stuff Studio here in town. She started doing them, and she's like, "Hey, I want to put some crystals on your teeth."
That's
I was
so
like,
rad.
"Whatever."
I fuck with
And
it.
she's like the first time she put them on, they lasted like a month, and she's gotten better over time. And now, like, I've had one fall off or 2 fall off, Julie. But I had two on each side, so 2, 4, and then 2 on the bottom, so 6 total. I've had 2 fall off.
Hell yeah.
But like it's been on for ages, and then I went to the dentist, and I was like, my dentist is gonna yell at me. My dentist was like, she's like, I love these.
Yeah.
She's like, it's glue. It's not permanent. Like,
okay.
when they fall off, like, we scrape it and get the glue off. Like, so yeah, it's fun. I mean,
is it uncomfortable? Or, like at first?
No, you just get used to it, right? At first, you're like, oh, this is a new
yeah,
like,
interesting
thing,
kind
but
of like racist, I guess.
so yeah, no, it was my friend supporting her, and then like people see it, ask around about it. I've got some other friends that refer. She also does microblading and the lip.
Oh hell yeah,
lip
my
stuff.
sister does all that.
I mean, I got my mom microblading for Mother's Day, right? That was a good present.
That's fucking rad. So with your success, and you've got 2 places, about to be 3, hopefully 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. What is the biggest advice, like tips, and I ask this for most of the business people coming on my podcast, that you can give to other entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs? And you can give the basics, or you can give some of the like the little behind the scenes that you won't know.
I will go deep into a rabbit hole real quick in terms of investment and banking and securing funding, because I'm still dealing with it with the Eagles Dare, and especially now with like things being backed up and prices and stuff like that, you get all these people that come and be like, especially the veteran stuff, right? Oh, we're here to support the veteran. We're here to do this. No, you're fucking not, dude. You're here to get your cut. Like, don't fucking come at me with the whole like, we're here to help, bro. Fuck you. And you know what the worst is? Half of them are other previous vets that are like, oh, just like, oh man, we're here to support. Like, fucking eat a dick. Or, a pussy, whatever. So, sorry. I would just say you need to make sure your money's tight. You need to have a plan, man. Like, don't get me wrong. When I bought Poorhouse with my partner, at the time it was like, yeah, we've got a month. I liquidated some of my stock, and I had some savings and just did it, and was like, and then we just started throwing shit at the wall, saw it would stick. And also, it's in a great location. It was already running well. Like, everything was set up for me. Taco Baby was like, hey, I'm changing something, I'm rebranding, I'm doing something. It's been intense, right? Eagles Dare is, I am working from sun up to sundown with some of my partners, with my contractors, designer, and I'm scared out of my mind, right?
Yeah.
That
a lot of risk.
A lot of risk, right? Especially now, like, what if there's another pandemic, or I owe people money and this and that. Maybe it's gonna fail, or like, people fucking hate you, Joe. Or we don't have the bartenders in this town to do the cocktails to the capability or to the specs I want. Take your pick of things. But the first thing is to say that I want to do something. Yeah. And you need to write it down. Like, people are like, oh, hey man, can I talk to you about, like, I've got a thing I want. I'm like, cool, show me, give me a mood board. And like, let's talk it through. Have you thought about this? And don't get me wrong, I say that, I give way better advice than I take. Yeah, I have always like one of my business partners, my dear friend Ben, we've been together for ages, working together, and he's the guy that, if I'm the dreamer, he's the dream killer, right? He's the.
But you need those sometimes.
100%. He's the dare. I'm like, oh, dude, I want to do this thing. And he's like, how much is it? But we're not doing that. I'm like, but he's like, we're not doing that. He's the he's the Sonny Corleone to my Marlon Brando, which he fucking hates that reference. But it's pretty true.
Wow, man, that's freaking insane that you're doing so much. And have you ever? I mean, obviously you failed at stuff. Everybody's failed at stuff. But have you had any like setbacks where you were like, fuck?
I got involved with a fucking boat.
Yeah.
And we ain't got the time. No,
Yeah.
that's a whole other podcast.
Oh shit. Well, just you don't have to go deep in it.
No, I got involved with some friends in a commercial dive boat project that I didn't take my own advice and say, I want to see more paperwork, I want to see more numbers. And I was like, oh, hey, like, I can get this number that you want, and I did, and then it just all of a sudden I was like, I want to be hands off.
Yeah.
Like, not doing that again. And I was just like, hey, here's I want to be a silent investor. I want to get some residual income. And what I learned from that is, nope.
It's hard to work with a lot of people, bro.
Right. And also, like, know that I have to be the chief. Like, that's from learning from this.
Yeah.
And all good. Like, I'm still friends with one of those guys. And
yeah, that's tough.
But yeah, like a boat. Like,
were you guys friends before, like the whole group?
yeah, we're friends.
Oh,
There's one other one,
right,
and then like things. I'm like, hey, what's going on here, guys? Like,
Yeah.
where's where's the scheduling? Where's the messaging traffic on social media? Where's booking? You're working out of a dive shop. Like, where? Like, I need to get paid. Like, I have a loan payment.
Right.
And then like it sunk in Florence, and then we had a whole deal.
Florence,
The hurricane.
Okay.
Uh,
the hurricane Florence.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
That big beefy
Big
bitch.
location. That's wild.
And she sunk, and then like insurance trying to get money back, having to like
Dang, that
being
sucks,
being the silent like partner,
yeah, you can't
and
do
then like dealing with this insurance stuff, and then all of a sudden like I'm in the front, being like, yeah, no, like be like, okay, like I'm trying to get some money. We didn't get it nearly enough. The insurance company thought like we were hiding it, like it was around, because like the level of incompetence. And like
It's
again,
hardworking.
and I'm trying not to be like totally like just absolutely scathing on these guys, but like I wasn't even in the state. Like I was in Colorado when Hurricane Florence came in. I was at a wedding, and like I'm like, get the boat out of the water. What are you guys doing? And
Right.
like they were as the storm's coming in, they were trying to get it. Like they had waited that long, and there's I'm sure there's other reasons. Like whatever, I don't fucking care. It sunk during the hurricane. And then, like, again, the like unfound, like, don't know, into the ether.
Outer Banks.
Yep, it's probably in Portugal.
Yeah.
It made
It's
made
got
the journey.
treasure in there. You guys got to go find it.
Well, that's what the insurance company thought. They're like, they're like, it's down in Florida somewhere, right? And you're like, what? I was like, you're giving us way too much. Like, no, we don't have that ability. That's like people thinking like the military, that there's secret organizations. I'm like, I've been in the military. You pull the curtain back, and it's just a bunch of monkeys pulling levers. And you're like, they do you. Thanks, I appreciate the.
That's crazy that happened.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. So like, do not get involved with something unless it is in writing. Do not do anything like oh, dude, we're homies, right? Awesome. Let's be homies afterwards. This operating agreement is going to say that I'm the big dick, you're the little spoon.
You're gonna have to move out. I'm sorry, bro. We're best friends. Letting him live there.
Yeah, dude.
Just paying bills.
It's just I think that if you don't put things in writing,
it can be hard.
It's going to lead to whether you're talking about you and your baby mom, right? I'd be like, oh, we can co-parent, and I'm like, hey, man, don't like you need to have a lawyer. You need just even if you guys are chill. If you're going to do a business, have an operating agreement because, dude, like we're homies. If you're going to do a loan with family, right? Like, hey, I'm getting this loan from you. I owe you this much every month, or whatever. Like, it needs to be there, or else then feelings get involved.
Right.
And it's like, dude, this isn't feelings. This is business, right? And the same thing with being friends and having your people work for you, right?
Oh yeah, that's hard. I've had that experience.
Oh, dude, downtown Wilmington is a tight knit group, and
Just don't have any friends.
the circle gets small, man. And there's people that you totally care about that hopefully one day they can see past the decisions that were made. Yeah. That like, hey man, you can't, you're fired.
That always sucks, dude. One time, I my sister and I, we own, well, mainly her, but she owns nail salons. We're about to open up a restaurant actually in Greensboro. Nail salons, waxing studio, and she actually teaches microblading and stuff like that. And I was a manager at the time, and I had to hire young receptionists, right? And I'm young myself. Like at the time, I was 21, 22, and one of the girls happened to be very attractive. And I fell down the rabbit hole of that stuff, and then but I had to fire her. That shit was so awkward, bro. You remember that?
A week after dating her.
Yeah, or not even dating. We were just talking, but that's because my sister was like, "Yeah, she's got to go." I was like, "Damn."
No, absolutely, and
brutal, bro.
And then then you see them at the other nail salon down the street that you go to, right?
Yeah.
Or the other bar. And it's dude, you're like, I have nothing but love for you. You hate my guts because I fired you because I held you to standard.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And it's Joe's just hating on me. I'm like, no, I'm not. You're fucking not doing your job. If you are,
they take advantage of the friendship.
100%.
All that stuff.
Dude, if you're working for someone and you can't be gotten before 12 o'clock, and I get it. If you worked the night before, bartended and closed at you didn't get out home until 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't bother them. But if you didn't work the night before and I can't get a hold of you until after 12 o'clock, bro, we have a fucking problem.
I'm gonna give you a pro tip that I've just learned, and in my short time on Earth, you want to have friends. If you're hiring friends, you want to have foreign friends, bro. Foreign friends. I'm talking about foreign friends that came from the bottom, because then not only will they do the work that you asked, they'll do some extra shit, and you're just like, well, why'd you do all that? It's like, bro, I owe you. Thank you for this job and stuff. Like it's like crazy, Tom. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah. You got a phone number.
Or just people that like been in the dirt. You know what I'm saying?
So
they work hard.
So the team that I've got at all the places right now are just fucking fantastic.
Grinders,
like the team at Poorhouse is just like really tight knit. It's being run.
Good.
It's being run very well. Taco Baby, like dude, the kitchen manager who wasn't there today. His name's Jose. He's Oaxacan. He's the reason why everything tastes so good. It's all him. The rest of the staff, but like he's the one that's like, this spice and this. His family. He had a family restaurant. Like he's awesome. And then like the people that I have at the Dare, like. As we're getting ready, we have a general manager, we have a bar manager. You'll meet the bar manager tonight.
Nice.
Are just like amazing, and they're so good that I've had to like kind of take a step back, right, and be like, because you know how
that's the best though.
Well, because then you're used to being like, hey, did you do this?
Yeah,
hey, did you do this? You're like, I'm not stroking out. I'm repeating myself because you didn't fucking do it the first handful of times. I now have people that I'm like, hey, can you do this? And then like the next day or whatever, they're like, hey. Here you go, or in your email, or like, hey, here's a text. You're like, oh my god, that's someone
amazing.
So like, it's just awesome. Like,
I have someone like that.
Good crew, good people. But you're right, like, and just asking people to be held to standard.
That's true.
And you holding yourself to standard too, right? And don't get me wrong, I don't fucking do it all the time, right? Yeah. Like I fail. It's just a matter of not having it be all the time, right?
I get it, man. I was gonna ask you. Well, I had a question about your tattoos, but I had something else that popped up, but I kind of forgot. So let's go back to the tattoos.
Yeah.
You got a fuck ton of tattoos here. What's the one with the most meaning?
Oh man, we're gonna get like all deep here.
Oh shit! All right, hit me with it.
No, so so these are two of my boys right here. So
oh shit, I see. I get it.
Yeah. So Copperhead 3-3. His name was Matt Manukian. And then Havoc 3-2. His name was Aaron Torian. And then
is 3-2 like This
was their call sign.
Okay, I got you.
So he came on the radio, so Copperhead 3-3.
That was dates too.
Yeah, and then these were the dates that they extracted.
Wow.
So obviously the day that they left. So Copperhead Matt's family is Armenian as well. That's how we met each other. We were at selection, so trying out for Marsoc, and you don't have name tapes. Like you take the name tapes off, you're a number. They put a number on, and this dude's like brown, like dark hair, like a little darker skin, like. And at some like we're in the bathroom or like washing hands, and I'd seen the roster before. I was like, oh yeah, dude, there's like another Armo here, and he's like, you Armo? And I'm like, Armenian, right? And he's like, I'm like, yeah, Apkarian. He's like, Manukian. I was like, did we just become best friends? And he's like, and we literally did. Like we lived
fucking rad.
We lived down the street. So like when I moved from Dubai, we lived down the road from here right now.
Wow.
And then fast forward, he was in Afghanistan. There was an insider attack.
Oh no.
And then
so it was on duty.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking.
And then Aaron was the best best Marine I ever had. And he was one of the original MARSOC Raider engineers that we sent to the Army Special Forces Engineer School. So he's a bad dude.
I have a question. You don't have to answer it. I can cut it out, but it's up to you. When you're in the military, Marines, whatever, Navy, it doesn't matter who you are. I always question this. How much does the president that's in place impact your guys' decision? And do you guys ever get frustrated with whatever decisions are made and stuff? Like, I'm assuming yes, but like...
Yeah, for sure, but like...
Because I've always been curious, like during the Trump era, even the Obama era, like certain decisions being made, you guys having to actually physically be there and being the ones who has to deliver.
Right, but I mean, therein lies the awesomeness about America, right? Good, bad, indifferent. Like we follow the commander in chief.
Okay, that's true.
So like,
Army of one.
I am more of the left leaning sort,
I
right?
can see that.
So guess what? During the Obama years, I had to hear things said by some of my peers that would say things. I'm like, and I would sometimes be that officer that would be like, "Hey man, that's your commander in chief."
Yeah. Okay.
So you know what? Like, shut the fuck up. And vice versa.
Right.
Like Trump years, like be like this mother, like you're like no.
Yeah.
Now granted, I was out by then. But so he's in charge.
Yeah.
They are in charge. But like we have the separation. It is our job to do, and we have the right to vote. Like we have the right, but like the minute we start using the military as enforcement and stuff like that, that's where we have that's why America is great, and we don't have to worry about a coup, right?
Yeah. Well, as of now, we'll see.
But I mean, that's before the 6th, right? You'd be able to say that
Biden did fall on his bike. You might have to be worried.
Yeah. There's actually a dude tagged poorhouse.
No way.
In that, it was that video, and it says like when you've had one too many missiles at the poorhouse.
Dude, the out video is just okay. First of all, I have to compliment him. He has amazing legs. I was looking at it, I was like, yo, he's kind of yoked for his age, like leg-wise. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, I feel so bad because he's just so old.
It was stuck in his. He had the. It was
so embarrassing, dude.
Dude. Just like, oh man, you're like this is not catching a break.
It really isn't.
But yeah, dude, like you follow the rules. If it's unlawful order, it's an unlawful order. Yeah. And you do that, and you
think that ever gets dangerous though? Like, let's say, hopefully it never gets to that point. But I think we have the things in place to where it doesn't.
There's I have to believe. I have names of my friends tattooed on my arm. Yeah. I served our country, right? Like there are times where I'm frustrated and upset and sad for my country, but it's like I've traveled the world.
True. We have it good here, bro.
Bro, like people want to get upset and mad, and I'm like, oh, dude, like I can see your anger, bruh. But you know what? Go fucking travel a little bit, and then come back and tell me you don't love this motherfucking country.
My girlfriend is 20. She's turning 21, and this isn't towards her. This is more towards some of her friends. So, she's in her senior year of Elon University, and Elon's a predominantly liberal school. UNCG, where we live, also predominantly liberal school, and I'm noticing this new age of people, this Gen Z, as they get older, they're starting to say things. Of course, the social media stuff like that, and I'm all for like most of it, but there are those few people who always like resort to the if blah 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 is in president or whatever, I want to get out of here, right? And I'm always like, bro. If you only knew what it was like in my home city, bro. Right. Like, because I visited Vietnam, Bac Lieu, and I'm like, dude, there's people pooping in the streets, and it's just like casual. I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Right. So don't get me, like, again, I've been in multiple countries.
Nothing's perfect. Yeah.
Nothing's perfect, and don't
Except
get me.
for Mykonos, that's fine.
No.
Iceland.
But there's places where you get frustrated, but end of the day, like, this is a pretty great nation. And Got to try and believe that it'll get better. You have to, or else like, what are we doing? So yeah.
What's your workout routine like? You're fucking huge.
Thank you.
And I saw your picture of when you were in the Marines too. That fucking handsome Squidward jawline, bro.
Yeah,
shit was fucking immaculate.
Yeah, I've had too many highlights and carne asada.
But you're still fucking huge.
No, thanks. So I do a lot of yoga.
Okay.
Yeah,
he does that.
Be Unlimited. What's up? I do a lot of hot yoga.
Hot yoga. That shit is an animal, bro.
Yeah. So
only time I ever did it in Wilmington.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The place, you know where the Azalea Festival ticketing booth is?
That is Be Unlimited.
That's the place? That's the place I was at.
Yeah.
So I only did it because they had like this like really cheap intro.
The community.
Yeah, and I just did the one.
Community.
Yeah.
Dude, I was there yesterday.
Oh, it's so fucking crazy, bro. Have you ever done hot yoga? Bro,
it's
like on steroids.
Well, so
I can't even handle it.
I'll do that. I do a lot of biking.
Okay.
And then I do like light weights. I have some injuries.
No.
And so
makes sense.
And so I've got like some muscle loss and I've got some nerve damage.
Oh shit.
That I deal with. So I don't.
It's my worst nightmare.
Yeah. So I don't like do the weights as much.
Yeah. Where's your injuries at?
Like just my neck, and then I've got some.
That's a hard one.
Right. So I've got muscle loss in my.
How's your sleep?
I mean, I don't know. I take a lot.
Do you have apnea or anything?
I have a sleep study scheduled. Like, it's not bad. I try and like do the healthy thing, and like, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to burn it down all the time, right? But I'm busy trying to build a bar and trying to be healthy and stuff like that, and wake up and go to the gym or go to yoga.
Yeah, it's hard.
But like inside of me, I just like, what's that line from like Hangover 2 where he's like there's a demon inside me, he wants to come out. Like, that's me, like, all the time. Like, I want to go party. Like, don't get me wrong, I just need to like.
You ever gonna take enhancers, like go on natty?
Yeah, I mean, like, have I ever gone on natty? I mean,
I was just talking about in the future. But have you gone in? I tell him all the time. I'm like, dude, because like my lifestyle right now, I'm working like, I mean, sometimes I'm not working, chilling. Sometimes I'm like nonstop grinding, and then you're tired, you're trying to work out, and I'm like, fuck.
I mean, like I am totally natural right now. I am totally natural right now.
Right.
I have done a cycle before of
what?
Of HGH.
Okay.
Okay. And I mean, I'm like virile enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
On that, I was ready to run through a wall and slip.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
Like that's the word right there. I was ready to fuck every. Like
That's what I wanted. Well, not but I want to do a TRT. The moment that I notice like a significant decline, because I have sleep problems. I have mild insomnia, and that fucks you up. And I had a friend who he's Jim Lai. He's like 36. He's telling me like when he was on TRT, it impacted his insomnia. I kind of want to experiment. I don't care about not being natural. I don't give a fuck. I just want to.
There's the stigma, right? It's the stigma. Exactly. It's the same thing like the stigma of like now everyone's like dad is like getting high on edibles.
It's amazing.
And it's like you're the motherfucker that had it illegal.
Yeah.
So like. Don't get me wrong. Are we gonna go like do anabolics to the point of like getting?
I don't want SARMs.
No, fuck no.
Nah, I'm good.
But why can't you take some TRT or some HGH to like
why not?
to regenerate or do something?
Yeah.
Like
I need
give
energy, man.
give me all of those baby embryo cells.
That's what I was. You go to Mexico, do some of those stem cell research.
Like where they joke around about the whole like like the couple like the QAnon and the cabal of harvesting children, and I'm like, I got news for you, man. If there was a child that I could harvest to get new knees, I will fuck them.
Did you fuck your knees up?
Dude, my knees hurt.
ACL, MCL?
My entire body hurts, man. But like I would joke like, if I could like harvest a child's shoulder and like put it right here, like I'm saying it on camera, like fuck them kids. Like I'll take a new shoulder.
Would you ever do some stem cell?
Yes.
You should go to Mexico.
So,
well, you gotta find the right person.
Well, no. So they did PRP. Oh, so they did that already. The next step is there's a guy in Oregon.
How did the PRP feel before you go to Oregon?
Did
you notice a big difference after?
A little. Like I don't have pain in my shoulder right now.
Yeah.
I still have some nerve issues in my fingers, but like.
He had a little issue with his shoulder as well.
So like if they do a little bit more, they want to go into maybe the discs.
Back.
The discs, or the next talk was, of course I was joking because I'd just been like in I was just in Colombia, and I was coming back, like it was Thanksgiving, I went to Colombia and they wanted to do the PRP like the week after. I was like, can we like maybe let my blood clean out a little bit? And like the nurse I was talking to didn't quite catch what I was saying, and my doctor was like, wink. And he's like, yeah, got you, man. So they did it. It was good. But the conversation was, hey, maybe down the road, if we need to, we would look at places in Mexico or Colombia or places where we could do that.
Is PRP like a shot, like a shoot up, or do they actually physically work on you?
They take blood out of you, they enrich it, and then they put it back.
So it's kind of like a blood transfusion or whatever it's called.
Right.
It's
a boost, right?
Did the biker?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like that ish. I think it's just to help to heal. Okay. So they put it back into my neck,
plasma.
Into my forearm and in my tri. So they put it in a couple different localized spots.
Interesting.
So I had that, and so still trying to take care of myself, right? But
hey, do whatever it takes, man.
That's just it. Like, and I don't think better living through chemistry, right? Fat Boy Slim.
See, my problem is like I am so scared of getting hurt that I almost feel like I don't even want to know that I'm getting that I'm hurt, because I feel like I have an injury on my wrist and my right shoulder, right wrist, but I'm too scared to get checked out, bro.
I mean, whether you're talking about like bodily or inside, like I went to Peru. Yeah. I did an ayahuasca journey, like past October. I want to
do that so bad.
You know, so like gotta take care of your spirit too, not just your body.
Yeah.
And so like I'm not a religious person. You know, I'm not even, I would say, spiritual, right? But like it was a deeply moving experience, and I would say I dealt with.
Wait, where'd you do ayahuasca at?
It was down in Peru. It was a place called La Medicina, and it was through the Heroic Hearts Foundation.
Okay. Did you do it straight from the leaf, or did they have it in like a...
Right, so it's a whole facility.
Oh, so it's legit, like, okay. I got you.
Facility, nonprofit called Heroic Hearts that are bringing veterans to experience this through a guided experience.
PTSD and stuff like that.
100%. And like, again, I don't think like I don't punch holes in walls, but I would say there's still times where I get a little sad.
Yeah.
And there were other people that had a different range of emotions.
Everyone's
and
different.
Right. And so over the course of 3 nights, we had 3 journeys, three
So
ceremonies.
it's like a contained, like almost journey that you take there. It's not like there's people there monitoring.
Oh, dude, you're
amazing.
like weeks out. You're starting to clean your. Like,
I was just thinking of just tripping it.
Oh yeah, right. but that's what a lot of people, so they want you to no caffeine, no meat.
Yeah. That's
they
how
want
you're
your
supposed
body,
to do it. Yeah.
and they want you journaling, saying like, what are my intentions and stuff like that. And so that like when you go down there,
I want to do that so
like,
bad.
and you take the stuff, the shaman, he gives it to you, and like he's like, all right, Mother Spirit, I receive you. Like I'm here for you to show me what you want to show me.
Do you remember like the taste, the smell? Isn't it like
there's
everything?
sometimes it'll hit you. I remember the experiences. Like the first night was I equated the first night was going to the amusement park, right? But you didn't ride anything. And I told the shaman the next day, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like like it's at night, and there's geometric shapes and mandalas and stuff like that, and you're kind of seeing some stuff. And then and I journaled and blah blah blah. And then the next day, telling the shaman, I was like, hey, like Spinal Tap, let's take it to 11. And he's like, okay. And then we did. And so he gave me.
Can you check if everything's still recording good?
And he took me. He gave me a significant dose, and I worked through some shit. To the point where like you start like you astral project, right? Like Doctor Strange, right? You're like, oh, there's my body. And I remember hearing him at some point being like, Joe, how are you? I'm like, oh, not good. And he's just like, we're going to remember this one for a while. And I was like, I can't wait to hear about it. And like,
I hear so much about like you really, not fight your demons, but like you really get in tune with who you are, whether you need to be humbled or not. And like you really need, I want that experience.
I mean, like
I only fucked with psychedelics once.
I talked with both those guys.
Fuck yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Talked with some other stuff. Like talked to myself. I joke around about demonic imagery and Satan and like joke around with that shit. Right. And sure enough, Baphomet shows up. And like a bunch of demons. And it was not bad. They were there helping me on my journey. Right. It was fucking wild. So I recommend it a lot. And I worked through some stuff and. The second night they got me into the shower they had to cool me down because I've
seen the documentaries
you express you like whether it comes you cry or you're gonna vomit cry you might lose I lost bladder control. I didn't lose like the big one but you also like sweat like it's blah and people were like, oh, so like you had a bad trip? I'm like, no, I wouldn't call it a bad trip. It was an experience I needed to have. Do I want to do it again? Fuck no.
Really?
Well,
I want it at least once.
I'll go do it.
I need to know.
I would go do an ayahuasca journey again. If the Mother Spirit wanted me to go do that again, I guess. But I just think
like I need to be
and people when you talk to about it, like some people just want to focus on like, did you throw up or shit yourself? And you're like, cool, you're not ready to talk about this. Yeah. And with other people, like, it was a deeply moving experience that I think I came away being like, man, like, I'm ready to go build a new bar.
I didn't even know about the shitting yourself. I honestly, when I watched the documentary, the main focus was like people going through like loss of their family and shit like that, and they're really down bad, and so they go
when you ingest the root and everything, things come out. So like whether you evacuate yourself, just your bladder or whatnot. Whoa. I was told that like only the most intense of experiences do you lose the other, the number 2. And no one did around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What if you don't know what intent or what you want to focus on?
I feel like it'll tell you.
So that kind of happened with me because they're like, Joe, what's your intent or what? And I was like, I'm here to be shown what I need to be like. I don't like. I'm here to come down to cure my alcoholism, or I don't want to be a heroin addict anymore. Like it was like I don't do that. I don't hit my old lady. I don't punch holes in walls. Like I don't. Like I think I'm pretty good. I'm here to experience what I need to see, and I don't have a lot of experience with psychedelics. I was in the Marine Corps.
Is that your first?
It wasn't my first, but it was like my first intent. Like holy shit.
Oh yeah.
And it was again. I recommend it to fucking anyone that's lived life, right? Yeah. If you've lived in a box for your entire life, cool, you don't need it. But if you've lived in a box,
I don't know. I feel like you might need it.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
But no, if you've lived life, there's probably something that's been in your past that you need to deal with. So it's not just like, oh, this is only for vets if you've seen combat, right? This is only for special forces.
It's natural too, technically.
Right? Like if you got.
So your demons will reveal themselves.
I think yeah.
Or your angels.
And it's Peru and it's beautiful and like I wouldn't do it away from the mother vine. Like I was like throw a football to where it's harvested and made.
Yeah, I love that.
And so like people are like, oh well, we can bring that back into the States. I'm like, I felt some form of connection to the environment. To
it's
the
almost
location.
like doing shrooms or doing like tripping while you're like in Amsterdam, and you're doing it. It's legalized. People are normalized to it. It's the culture, so you feel like okay, I feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Like we're doing that this year, 100%.
Awesome.
We're gonna be in Amsterdam, so I've only tripped shrooms once, and that was my only psychedelic experience. And we didn't take enough to where I'm like fucking like, but we did like everything was kind of like interesting. And then to come down, I noticed alpha at least shrooms. Whenever we were coming down, I was like, wow, I feel really at peace.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad come down.
They're doing stuff with shrooms. They're doing stuff with MDMA. There's a lot of
MDMA is a little scary to me. Wait, which one's MDMA? Is that acid or is that Molly?
Molly.
Oh, I've done it. Here.
Yeah.
Wilmington.
Hey, Wilmington.
Yeah.
But so they're doing. I mean, what like weeds? The weed battle's done, right? The next is this.
Almost.
Almost right, but it's that battle is the dominoes are falling. The next battle is the psychedelics, right?
They're experimenting in French Canada, 2023. If I don't have someone to pull it up right now, but I'm pretty sure they're experiencing in that area. The government is going to decriminalize, and they're going to start having pop-up dispensaries for all legalized drugs. Now, here's the catch. If you do it, you have to go through an education course or something like that. They want to experiment with that in Canada. If I'm not 100%, I have to reread the article. But if that pans out well, it seems like Canada might adopt it, which is pretty interesting because Portugal has that model, and it's hit and miss. Like some areas of Portugal, way safer. No drug trafficking now, no like fucking crazy shit. But there is this other side where there are addicts, like still, like, you know.
That'd be interesting. I mean, I have some friends that are involved with the psychedelic legislative process and everything like that. And again, like...
I'm in the camp that it should be legalized, but educated and old enough and, like, full background check, a lot of shit.
I serve booze, man. You can take that to the extreme, too.
Yeah, booze.
Right?
Dude, booze
That's
is arguably better, worse than a few things.
Yeah, so, like,
that
I mean, like,
illegal.
marijuana, psychedelics, like, whatever, man. Like, if you take it, or you
or
you try to over-regulate it, people will find a way.
Yeah.
And that's the same fucking argument with the gun thing.
Yeah.
But you're like,
Look at Prohibition times.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think I had a very, at the moment, not necessarily the best, but I had a very thoroughly enjoyable, learning, beautiful experience that I recommend to, like, fucking everybody.
Yeah. So, all right. So, we're out of, let's say, you're out of the restaurant game. You're out of food and bar.
Yeah.
What would your project be? Because you seem like a business guy at heart. What would your next, if you had to jump out of this bubble, be? Would you open a distillery, make some liquor, tequila? Would you open a fucking nail salon, a tanning booth?
No, it would be
Plan B Parenthood. Fair Parenthood.
back alley abortions, right?
Right.
In
Texas.
I am a admitted. I'd say like people like using the terms nerd and geek, right?
Yeah, we were fucking nerds.
I know, guys. I collect comics.
Oh, this is the guy you want to talk to, dude.
Go look in there. Go look in my wall.
Can you tell me what?
And I'll take in my storage unit and show you my comic book collection.
Where? Oh shit, he's big in comic book. He's the one who got me into comic books, and I'm in the new age. He's in the old school.
So I'm collecting Golden Age. It's like the 30s, 40s.
Oh, right
50s.
when they started booming again.
I collect a lot of the image stuff. So like the Spawns and the Wildstorm, Wildcats. Like I mean, my dog's names are Grifter and Zealot, which is from Wildcats.
That's an OG one.
Yeah. So
are you into more independent DC, Marvel? What's up?
He's got both.
He's got both.
I've got everything.
You have to pick one
I do
right
a lot
now.
of Marvel.
Same.
But I do a lot of old horror So
I noticed that too.
So I do a lot of Vampirella.
Shit.
Vampirella, Elvira, Red
I'm trying to
Sun.
think of my favorite horror one. I guess it would be what did Wesley Snipes play?
Oh, Blade, dude.
Blade. Yeah. Blade is fucking rad. He's so bad. That's not really horror, but that's
what's
that's
the
kinda
other-
badass.
Like the Archie comics.
Yeah, the Archie, dude. Like Sabrina. So
Oh shit, yeah.
So
I only know it from the TV shows.
I actually, so I stopped collecting military years. Then recently I've just kind of got back into it, and I've been inventorying and actually you met Larby, my PA. I've actually like completely abused like. I've made her like bag and board comics and like just like the nerd in me of like the high school like 90-pound like kid that's like I made the hot girl like bag and board my comics. I've reached the top of the mountain.
So are you doing? That's so funny. Would you do a comic book store?
Dude, I would do something like I
that's
would
so
some form
sick,
of like
dude.
if I didn't have like money or like just like I could just hang back and go. I don't know when it happened, but all of a sudden like I like going to vintage like antique stores. Like I remember like growing up and being like, "Where are we going?
You know
This
what
is
I could
dumb."
see? You know what I could see you doing? Like in an alternate universe, in the multiverse, you got another Joe that is a comic book YouTuber. Because there are comic book YouTubers. No, I swear to God. You talk to the camera, you start talking about some comic books, you can compare it to the current movies, or you can say, yo, this is a story that ain't nobody talked about and it's fire. Stuff like that. Like I actually watch that shit, dude.
Yeah, that'd be I'm in.
You make some money out of it.
That would be a blast. Like I enjoy talking about like the guys that are here. Like you've got a place called Memory Lane. You've got a place called Buried Under. At the Eagles Dare, we're gonna start doing a quarterly like pop up like swap. So like because we want the brick and mortar guys to have a like to bring their
I know
stuff.
one of the stores in town.
But we want there's a lot of local collectors here. So
shit,
we want them to have like so that back room that you saw today.
Oh, that'd be
You know,
so
like,
cool.
be like, hey, give me $20, so there's buy-in, so I know you're coming.
Yeah.
Put your table up, have your stuff, and like you walk around, and you're like, oh, like I'll trade you this, I'll trade.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like
make
a
some
little,
money out of it.
not a full Comic-Con or anything like that, but it's like local people that can wheel and deal because like you see a lot of the guys that have the brick
so
and mortars,
cool.
they sell and they're like, this dude's collection has to be wild. This would
Yeah.
be an opportunity for us to do that. So I'm gonna do it with the Dare, but like I like
so
talking
cool.
about pop culture. I like talking about comic books and like just Star Wars. Like can't help it. Sorry.
Yeah, we're on that right now. I'm finishing Obi-Wan.
Yeah, dude.
Fire for show.
Yeah, I mean, weird. He was sad. Like people were like, "Oh, I wanted this and that." I'm like, his entire order and way of life, dead. So like maybe he was a little bit sad. Like
This guy was talking shit about that last night. He was like, I mean, he's just kind of a pussy. I was like, hold up, bro.
well, you got to put yourself in the mindset, right? But you're don't get me wrong. Like I'm still fucking waiting for like the giant lightsaber battle scene between like 5 or 6 dudes, like real shit. Like don't give me Darth Maul and fucking Qui-Gon and fucking blah blah blah.
I'm finishing it right now.
Give me the old Republic, right? Give me some of the old like the fact that Lucasfilm Disney isn't using some of the old legend stuff, some of the old stories,
so
old story arcs.
I'm angry at this whole fucking new trilogy, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It was okay.
I think they
it was
missed the
so
mark, man.
mid. Like it was just so like 6 out of 10. Like I watched it all. Like it's watchable, but it's not like good.
The fact, so like you'll see it in there, like my monument to Wedge Antilles, the best starfighter pilot in the galaxy. Only got to go up against both Death Stars. Sorry.
Shit, I didn't even know that. Like it's so bad.
Right. Like the fact that like he showed up and he's just like working a turret, like it should have been Admiral Antilles, like showing up with the goddamn Galactic Republic, like fucking out of control. Like
I was mad at the fact, and we were just talking about this last night. How the fuck did they build up? Okay, I get building up Rey. She's the main. But how did they build up Kylo like he's supposed to be even more badass than Vader?
He was cool the last 10 minutes.
Vader.
He was cool the last 10 minutes.
And then homie is a pussy, bro. He's such a fucking pussy, dude.
He was a Marine. He was a machine gunner. I think he's a great actor.
Wait, who?
Adam Driver.
Oh, Adam Driver. Yeah. The actor is cool.
Yeah.
I was
Adam Driver, but like, yeah, the character Kylo Ren, you're just like, right. So like, when is he like a badass?
They also fucking ruined the villain dude.
General Smog.
Smog. Like they built it up like he was gonna be badass. He died in like maybe 5-10 minutes, bro.
Well, and so like, who is he? Like,
I don't even know who he is.
I don't know who the fuck he was.
Yeah, they didn't build him up at all.
I love the meme or whatever. You know who he was? He was the Padawan that got smoke checked But there's like a video that shows like the progression of that kid's face to him. And,
Oh my god, dude.
and then like the whole like Palpatine's back. You're like, oh my god, like that's how fucking shallow the.
You know
well
what
is.
was a good movie that they made? Rogue One. I like that. That was the last of the LucasArts. That's why.
I mean, I'm geeking out over. Was it Patty Jenkins is doing Rogue Squadron? So that's
I didn't even know that. That's
right.
amazing.
So they released.
Is it a show?
It's going to be a movie.
Fuck yeah!
It's the chick that did Wonder Woman. She's an amazing director, and she's going to do the story of Rogue Squadron. So the guy, the Wedge Antilles, the dudes that were the X-wing fighter pilots.
Yeah.
And so like there's a whole bunch of shit that happens, books, comics, and she's like she made like a promo clip for like Star Wars Celebration. I don't know where it is in development.
Okay.
But like it's going to be fucking Top Gun with X-wing fighters. Like what? Like fuck yes.
So it's just predominantly like space / like fighting.
Yeah.
Like the crafts.
What was it? Han Solo did like mediocre, so they canceled like all the anthology movies, or they canceled
really
all the offshoot movies, which are like, and it was because Disney Plus was coming and they wanted TV shows. But the fact that I don't know where that's at. There's so many stories, and what's the guy that's directed Thor, Lovin, Takiti.
Takiti. Fuck the tan guy. the tan guy. I don't even know.
The New Zealander.
Really funny.
Oh, he's
so
amazing.
funny.
He just talked about it. How he's like, I want to do a Star Wars movie with like none of the core characters. Like,
that'd be so sick.
He's like, why would you keep going back to the well? He's like, Star Wars is an immersive, wonderful universe. Let's go explore other people. Like, oh, this is Chewbacca's grandson. Fuck off. Like, who cares?
Dude, what if it was just a story of like Chewbacca's race, but like we could understand them?
Cool.
But that is so fucking wild.
Like a movie about Wookiees just fucking wrecking house.
Yeah, just like we get to know the origin story.
Taking back Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Like taking it back from the Empire, and then like you can understand them, but you don't understand the Stormtroopers.
Oh, that would be fucking genius.
And it's like it's all like guerrilla warfare. Like that part in Han Solo where like
my god,
that part in Han Solo where Chewie fucked those dudes up. You're like, hell yeah.
Bro, that would be a wild show. Like we get it from their perspective.
Yeah,
that's so fucking cool.
There's just so much.
That
would be cool.
Are you a fan of Game of Thrones?
I mean, I watched it. Like it was cool. I didn't read the books. Like. Yeah. Cool, done.
Okay,
like all right, like that last season, I was like,
well, the last season was terrible. I blocked that out of my head.
The dogs couldn't watch him, Grifter. He like horses, like stuff like that, get on TV, and he's like,
yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like, I mean,
that's how I am about like when it comes to fandom. I'm such a Game of Thrones dork. Like, I still to this day, I'm like, I can't wait. They finally.
I'll never get over the blunder.
I'm so fucking mad at how they ruined that show, but. We're waiting on HBO because they need to greenlight it. They're going to do a sequel to the actual Game of Thrones story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to do it off of Jon Snow's story.
You fucking can't, like, what's his name was still writing the fucking book. And
and they fucking bushed it, dude.
Right.
George R. R. Martin. Yeah.
Yeah, George, like he's like, I'm still writing it. And, like, what's that South Park episode that just fucks him up?
My god. Dude, the South Park Game of Thrones episodes were so funny, bro.
Just skewered him.
I love South
Park,
bro.
They're trying to do a story and there's the book still coming out.
Yeah.
You're like, you put the chicken before the egg. Like,
yeah. But this next one, they're getting different directors. He's gonna be a part of it. I'm hoping for the best. Like I'm such a dork at like almost everything dorky. Like even like Vikings and like.
I read Dragonlance in as a kid. So like,
dude, I remember them, but I didn't.
You know what I'm talking about? So like, you're like, oh shit, this guy's like, yeah, dude. I had 100-Sided Die.
Did you ever watch? Did you ever watch or the movie or read the books? I just watched the movie.
Hey.
Aragon.
I didn't see that.
Son. That was a throwback.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Wait,
I didn't see it.
You said you had 100-sided die, so you played D&D?
I played some D&D. I did Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering in like 8th grade, like after school Magic the Gathering club. Like, fuck.
There's this new game.
Girls even talk to me.
There's a new game, but it sucks that it's only on VR. But it's called Demio. Bro. I'm just waiting to play with you, bro. It's literally VR set. You're there playing a fucking D&D style game, and you can zoom in and the characters actually like physically move and fight and shit, and I'm like so immersed, bro. I'll be in that for like 3 hours.
Have you seen it's an old video of like the D&D players all sitting around? It's like animated.
Maybe
and they're
not.
all arguing with each other like,
No.
"What? I want to throw like the sword of plowshare," and they're like, "You can't fucking throw the sword of plowshare, you're in a room like and then like there's one guy's like, "Is there dip in here? Do we have dip?" Like,
dude, they were doing during the pandemic, they would do like Zoom D&D sessions
dude,
where they, like someone's like the
it's
master dude.
It's gotten so much better though, like with technology and
Yeah, Dungeon
immersive.
Master.
Before it used to be the dungeon master being like
You
have
have
his
to, like,
script
fucking
and like
read
right.
everything. And I could never imagine being a dungeon master, bro. So much fucking shit. That
I
you
just
have to
don't
come
have the
up
time to put in like.
with. He wanted to make a
like
board
months,
game.
but-
You almost made a whole fucking board game. It was crazy.
Yeah.
My guy was out here being creative. Well, that's all the topics I have. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, dude.
Hey, everybody, you guys gotta come to Taco Baby and abort your babies. And I'm just playing. No, go to Taco Baby in Wilmington and Poorhouse, which we're gonna check out tonight. I'm excited.
Sex toy bingo.
And thank you for inviting me to dinner. That's gonna be interesting. You invited me to Pinpoint, which I haven't been to, but I've heard many great things. And then after those two things, just Poorhouse, and then that's it. But then you're also opening up Eagle Dare.
Eagles Dare, and then also
Eagles
tonight
Dare.
we have sex toy bingo.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fucking
Right.
sick.
So yeah. So bingo, sex toys. Should be good.
Thanks,
Plastic
brother.
dicks.
Great podcast.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank
you,
you.
man. All right, guys. See you guys next week.
Take care.